Hello everybody and welcome to Driving with Goldbridge. I nearly said going for Goldbridge. I'm annoyed with Goldbridge. I think that's the show I would call it at the moment. I'm just in a very bad mood today. I don't know whether I'm in a bad mood or a depressed mood. I don't want to do the boo-hoo, I'm in a bad mood. No, that would be the other way. I don't want to do the whole boo-hoo, I'm in a really down mood, which is fine. It's fine to be in a down mood. And I think I almost am in a down mood, but I think I'm more in a bad mood. I think my down mood has been beaten by my bad mood because I'm in a bad mood. Simple as that. I was meant to be doing with Cooking with Goldbridge and I forgot to get the bloody ingredients. So I'm sort of running out of time for that one. But yeah, you know, I'm half tempted to sing a song, but I don't think that's going to help me today. Just in a bad mood. Tired as well. It's my own bloody fault as well. I'm so angry with myself. It's my own fault that I'm tired because I've been bloody watching something on Netflix, Mindhunter, like a bloody idiot, and I've been staying up too late thinking, you know, when you get all Billy Big Bollocks at, you know, it's midnight and you're like, I'll be fine in the morning, I'm just gonna watch another one, and then you wake up in the morning, you're absolutely devastatingly knackered. That's me today. Tired out because I was, you know, I wish I was tired because I'm tired out because I've just been saving lives as a fireman, or although they'd probably be asleep, having had a good old PS5 session, you know, as a nurse or a policeman, and but no, I'm tired because I was watching Netflix. It's just not the same. It's not the same, is it? But let's calm down and have a bit of a chat amongst ourselves. And yeah, I'm disappointed there's no Cooking with Goldbridge, but Driving with Goldbridge is good, and I'm actually multitasking because I'm trying to track something down here today, which I could tell you what it is. I'm actually house hunting, really. I've not lost my house. I'm just I'm looking to move. Not for any sinister reason. I just would like to move house. But bit of a boring conversation there. But that leads nicely into something I was actually thinking about today. And oh my God, you can't drive, mate. You cannot drive. I'm driving on a main road and he pulls out and comes onto my side of the road. Just because you've got a big car and you live in a nice area. Elitism in driving is a real thing. You know, people think when they're driving around, they think they're Boris Johnson. They think that they're better than everybody else just because they've got a big car. Overcompensating for something. Brains. But yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. How things have changed since in my lifetime. And I was talking to I was actually talking to the wife about this, saying I was hungry. And it's funny how one thing leads to another when you open your mouth and talk. And I was talking about, I sound really peckish. I'm just gonna have a bowl of Shreddies. And she was like, oh. She didn't actually make that noise. I just thought I'd try and make it interesting. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna have a bowl of Shreddies. And I went, this will make you laugh. I used to put sugar on my Shreddies. She went, oh. And I went, better than that. I used to put sugar on my Weetabix. Oh. I used to put sugar on my porridge. I get the idea, she said. Yeah, I'm just humour me. I'm finding it quite interesting. She walked out. But then I thought, well, I did used to put sugar on everything. Cornflakes, obviously in my tea. But like, speaking to a lot of people who grew up in like the early 90s as kids, this is not an uncommon occurrence for people to put sugar on their cereal. I would never do it now. A bowl of Shreddies with sugar on it makes my teeth water. It's like, ooh, I just would never do it. But this was pretty standard when we were growing up. I mean, it's not the same as smoking. Like, we weren't fed cigarettes as kids. But one of my mates used to have Coke with his breakfast, not the drug. God no. That would be, you know, we weren't on Class A drugs as kids, but no, like Coca-Cola. He used to have a glass of Coca-Cola with his Weetabix that also probably had half a bag of sugar on it. How did we survive? The diet of us when we were younger was terrible. All the E numbers they used to talk about, whatever they are, Do they still exist, these E-numbers? What happened to them? What is an E-number? Like, I remember it was mad. Like, you used to have like these sweets, and suddenly parents started going, no, you can't eat them, they've got E-numbers in. And you're a kid and you're like, what are these E-numbers? What is an E-number? And you'd read the ingredients and be like E1243. It's like a bloody bus. Are they still in sweets these days, people? Are they harmful? What are they? What are these E's that they were putting in? I don't know. Crazy, absolutely crazy. But there's a lot of things that I think back to when I was growing up that were acceptable then, that not acceptable now. I mean, you used to get left on your own a lot. You get locked up for it now, but you used to get left. Well, you were basically, it was another form of being locked up, because your parents would want to go to the shops or down the pub, and you'd get left on your own as a child. I'm not meaning like you're 3 or 4. You know, they put Peppa Pig on, which didn't exist in those days, but I'm just trying to be topical. I put Peppa Pig on back to back. It's not some sort of porn Peppa Pig, I mean like episodes. Put Peppa Pig back to back on YouTube playlist for the next hour. We're just off down the pub. When you're like 4, no, I mean like more. I think when you were, I think in the late 80s, early 90s. Once you hit about, which I wasn't this age, so I've got to say early 90s. Well, no, it probably was early 90s, late 80s, yeah. When you hit about 8 or 9 in the late 80s, that was it. Get a paper round, you're old enough to be left on your own. And it wasn't just, it was everybody used to do it. Some were worse than others. I remember going round to my mate's house one weekend and knocked on the door, and I knew he was in because I'd seen him at the curtains, and I was like, you're not getting your Super Mario game back, but can I come in? And he was like, I don't know whether you should come in. I was like, why? I'm not a murderer. I'm 9. He'd be like, no, I'm on my own. Well, that's even better. You've always got chocolate digestives at your house. So he said, come in then, but you're not allowed to tell anyone. I mean, we're going to tell you on your own. And he said, I said, where's your parents? He said, they've gone to Benidorm for 2 weeks. I mean, I'm joking a little bit, but kids did used to get left on their own quite a lot. That's one thing. People are, when you talk about things from the past, people always talk about white dog poo, which we all know did exist, but it was because something that was in dog food at the time, and you don't see white dog poo anymore. Boring. Talk about stuff that actually used to happen that can't happen now. Like, you used to be able to go and play out in a different postcode. We'd be like a gang of us, 7, and like, I'd be playing on another side of town. I'm not talking like I lived in Nottingham, I was down in Birmingham or something like that. I couldn't drive, but and it wasn't bad parenting. It was just different, a sign of the times. You were allowed to play out a lot more. I mean, do kids play out anymore? They don't want to play out, do they? They want to play with their iPad. But yeah, you used to be allowed to play out a lot more. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because, well, no, I'm not going to say that. What I was going to say is that there's a lot. People say it's worse now, but actually, there's a lot more. There was a lot more abductions in that then. And we were playing out more. So maybe that's linked in. Serious Goldbridge there, but yeah, things were different when I was growing up. And was it bad? These days, someone bangs their head at school, they get a form sent home. People crack their head open, you put a plaster on it when I was at school. And I nearly said somebody died in class and they only got a letter home, but that would be a silly, sick joke, really. But yeah, we are very risk averse now. Health and safety, cancel culture, snowflakes and all that jazz. It is very, very different. But it's just an observation that I used to put sugar on my tea. I used to put sugar in my tea. I couldn't drink tea with sugar in it now. I know a lot of people do that. Stereotypically, poor people do it. And look, it's a stereotype. I'm not saying that, but like when I used to work in the police, a lot of people who'd been arrested, innocent till proven guilty. I'm not saying that they're criminals. Just because you've been locked up for a crime that there's loads of evidence for doesn't mean that you're guilty. Leave it to the courts. But generally, you'd say, do you want a cup of tea while you're waiting in your cell for your solicitor? Yeah. How many sugars? 10. That was not exaggerating. And I do find that these people who want sugar, they will have 4 or 5. I mean, it's basically half your cup is a molten glucose. It's not good. But no, sugar on cereal, no, not having any of that. Not having any of that at all. But yeah, interesting. I'm stuck in traffic here, going nowhere. Now I am. Green light for go. Bloody hell, that was close. I'm not joking. That was bloody close there, love. Which is thankfully it wasn't a kid, but this couple there were. She's on the road and there's a car come out, which nearly hit her. Fair play to her husband, he pulled her back. Would she have done it the other way? Depends what's going on in their home life. They're obviously a good advert of a relationship that's going well, which is good to see. But you know what? That could have been it wouldn't have been her opportunity. It was his opportunity. Maybe maybe the cooking's crap. I don't know. What I'm basically saying is, this woman's walking on the road there, and there's a car coming that she hasn't seen, and it very nearly hit her, but her husband pulled her out of the way. I don't think it was going to hit her. I don't want to pretend that I've just seen a near miss. I'm not one of them liars who pretends that, oh, you know what, I could have been dead. I was doing my hair. I was hair drying my wet hair, and a strand went in, and I could have been electrocuted. You couldn't. They test these things a lot. But it was a bit of a near miss. She could have been hit. And to be fair, the husband pulled her out of the way. He overplayed it a little bit. He'd do well in EastEnders. He overacted a little bit. He's like, his face was like full of shock. Oh, that was close. It wasn't really close, but he could have played out being closer. But I digress, which I have digressed. I digress because effectively, if he didn't like her and it was a bit closer and he hadn't pulled her out of the way, he's not done anything wrong, but he's potentially got himself out of an unhappy relationship. And people will say that's harsh, but you don't know what's going on. This is a hypothetical situation, but what if she was slowly poisoning him and he'd found out? All he's done is not helped her off the road when she shouldn't have been on the road in the first place. You're not going to get done for it. I'm not trying to advise people on a perfect murder scenario. It wouldn't even be murder. Like, she's in the road. He hasn't pushed her in there. I didn't see anything like that. But stereotypically, it would be the other way around. You know, she's unhappy in a relationship with him because, you know, stereotypically, you know, it's a serious thing. I used to see this quite a lot. You know, domestic violence is non-gender specific, but stereotypically, it's people always would think of the man. You know, see, I can't. Second serious topic. But it brings, yeah, actually that raises a good point. I was, you know, saving people, right? Imagine, right? Actually, I had this conversation a few months ago, again with the wife. She was more interested in this one. She stayed in the room. And we were talking about, I've been to that pub, the Railway Inn. I didn't even know how I got here, but I have been here. I was talking about this with the wife, and it was like, my mind wanders because I'm a creative, and I was thinking about scenarios, and I said, Imagine you're in a pond and there's a crocodile, right? And you can only get one of you out in time. And there's me and Seb, and the wife's on the side. You're going to want Seb out of the pond, aren't you? And she said, yeah, because you've had your life. And she said also, I know that you would put your life on the line for Seb. She said, would you do the same? And I paused, and I knew I was only a second. I paused, and I was like, well, of course I would, because for the same reason you would want me to, and that. But I could tell by the look, it was like, oh, you know, why did you pause? But I'm actually pausing, thinking about you. You didn't pause. It was straight away, I'm pulling Seb out. But it got me thinking about that. Like, you know, if you're in that situation, in that pond with a crocodile, and you've got to pull two people out, you know, or you're in the pond, like, if I'm in that pond and the crocodile's coming and only one's getting out, and it's my kids, get my kids out, definitely. That's good parenting, you know, they should teach that. I went to one of these NTC classes before when we had our first child, actually, and they teach about changing nappies and what to do if a baby's crying and, you know, all those sort of things. I actually think they should teach in there. If you're in a pond and there's a crocodile coming and there's only time to get one out, you or your kid, they could run a test on psychology, actually. Imagine if somebody said, no, get me out first, leave your kid in. God, they're you've got to watch out for them. Intelligence reports they're probably a bloody selfish twat, but more than that. But yeah, if you're in a pond with a crocodile with your kid and your other half is there, could be a woman, could be a man, because everything's good now, and thank God at last you can be two men and have a child. You can't actually do it scientifically, it's impossible, I think. Well, it is, because they don't create eggs. Talking about them like the chickens. But yeah, so basically I've digressed again. You are in a situation where you're in a pond with a crocodile, you've got your kid there, could be adopted. I see, this is the world we live in now. Back in the 80s, with white dog shit, being left on your own, being allowed to play out for all time. In this scenario, statistically, the partner would be the opposite sex and the child would be yours. In this world, the partner, quite rightly, could be the same sex. The child could be yours, it could be adopted, it could be somebody just visiting, although that still, for me, is a bit sinister. You know, what you're doing in a pond with a child that's not yours, you know, let's hope they've got wetsuits on. But anyway, the point is that if you are in a pond and a crocodile's coming towards you, and let's pretend, look, the crocodile wants to eat you, you know, might be a friendly crocodile. I see a lot of friendly crocodiles in Seb's books. Some of them even talk. But anyway, the crocodile wants to talk. No, he doesn't want to talk. He wants to eat. He's hungry. There's only time to get one of you out. Your partner's on the side saying, pass me the kid. And you say, you're right. Take the kids. I've got good life insurance. Enjoy the rest of your life. Don't remarry too quick. It's disrespectful. So, in that situation, it's your kid. Only an idiot hesitates about it, right? But where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? Kids take for granted, right? If you're in that pond, that crocodile's come in, get your kids out first. If it's your mother-in-law, well, let's not do mother-in-law jokes, but what if it's your parents? A lot of people love their parents, but they're older than you, factually, you know, I'm not being ageist, your parents are older than you. It's something I can say with total conviction. Your parents are older than you. Of course they are. It's impossible at the moment, until someone invents it, to be younger than your parents. So they're older than you. So they've got age against them. Are we not in a scenario here where what I've just spoken about kicks in? Because talking about it with my wife, there was some hesitation. And I was like, for me, you're getting me out the bloody water. Same person's pulling you out, right? Same person. And to make it better, it's her mum and dad, right? Still mother-in-law, isn't it? Actually, we're back on that. I said, right, we're in the water. The crocodile's coming. Only one of us is getting out. You're on the side. I'm your husband. That's your mum or your dad. Who are you pulling out? Hesitation. Well, what are you hesitating about? They've had a good innings. I'm younger. I'm your husband. Come on. It's got to be me. And she agreed. So that's good. What if you were in the water and it was your parents? You see, unselfish people think it through, because they're like, I love my parents, you know, I love my parents. It's not easy to think about. Look at these cyclists. Get on my bloody tits. Cyclists. Get on the side of the bloody road. They think they're cars. They think they're a bloody Fiat Punto. You're a bloody cyclist. Move over. I'm a car. It's a road. I've upset the cyclist now. I've got nothing against cycling. I've done it myself. I don't know why cyclists think that they're something special. I've got a bike. It's in the garage. I don't use it. It's got flat tyres. Why do tyres on bikes go down if you don't use it for 6 months? It's odd. But I've got a bike. I'm not against cyclists. I'm just saying some cyclists are prats. Some police officers are prats. Why do you have to make it about cyclists? Why do you have to have a gang? Why do you have to have cameras on your head? Oh, in case most of the time you've done something wrong and then you turn it into somebody else. I've seen you. See, I'm calling you cyclists. You're just people on a bike. I've been in London and they don't stop at red lights and they bloody go into you and then they start shouting and swearing. I don't want to think you'd be happy getting a bit of exercise. Lovely pub on the left here, the Boot at Lapworth. I'll be back in there in a couple of weeks when it opens up. Can't wait. In fact, it's quite sad to drive past it. Lovely, lovely stuff. Lapworth is a very nice area. I'm not moving here. It's bloody too expensive, man. Too expensive, man. But yeah, it's interesting about the crocodile, isn't it? I mean, you will leave this video and probably think about it amongst yourself, which I like planting seeds. That doesn't mean I've got loads of illegitimate kids, but I like planting seeds into people's brains. And again, that's not something sexual. I mean, like, I'm talking about putting ideas into people's heads that they go off and think about. So you'll be thinking tonight, don't do it in a bath, you might get trauma about the pond and the crocodile, but you know, what is your threshold? And you don't really need to have kids, it could be hypothetical kids, but if you're in a pond with a crocodile coming after you and one of you's going to get out, you'd have to be a complete and utter selfish maniac to climb out yourself and leave your kids in there. Oh God. You'd have to get out and run. You couldn't stay there and watch it. But what's your threshold? For me, look, I've got to be honest, if it's my wife, I'm not, and then he said I'm getting out. If it's my wife, she's getting out. If it's my kids, they're getting out. Best friends, I'll take it on a case-by-case basis. Work colleagues, I'm getting out. Family members, again, I'll take it on a case-by-case basis. What did you get me for Christmas? You know, aunties that bought me shit things, I'm sorry, I'm getting out. I don't know what point I'd get to in relation to if they tried to get out as well and only one can get out, you know, there's a little gap in the bank. Do you pull them back and get out yourself? Do you get physical about it, or do you just go fair play there first? I think survival of the fittest, which again, age is on my side when it comes to older relatives. But no, I think, you know what, it's like the whole, it is, you know, fight or flight, isn't it? Which both would help in that situation, fight or flight, but I don't want to go down that road again. But yeah, people will be saying, so what's your cut-off point? Well, all I can say with any conviction is that my wife and kids, they're gonna, I would take on the crocodile and lose. Anybody else, I would just, you know, live in the moment. Which is something I don't actually like to do that much. I don't like to live in the moment, you know. People often ask me on like streams, what's your favourite takeaway? And it depends on my mood. But I'm not going to, I don't really go with the moment much. Like if I'm in a pub and they give me the dessert menu, I don't know why I have a look. I don't know whether you lot are like this. I don't even know why I have a look, because if sticky toffee pudding's on there, I'm going to have it. And I'll spend time going, oh, the Eton mess looks nice. Look at that. Great bits of meringue and strawberry. Oh, look as well, they've got a seasonal crumble with custard. And oh, look at that cheesecake. It looks nice. I'm always going to have toffee sticky pudding, so I don't really go with the moment much. But in that situation, in the pond with the crocodile, I'm going to go with the moment. I don't know where I am, but some nice big houses here. I should be more observant. I really should. Yeah, international break. My mood's better now. I'm feeling a lot better now. Talking blabbering crap is good therapy for me, which is why I thought I've messed up doing Cooking with Goldbridge this week. Get your thoughts in below about what I should do Cooking with Goldbridge actually next week. I've done a lot of things I hadn't thought I'd done. So yes. But yeah, international break. We're coming towards the end of this. I mean, international break is just like a shortened version of lockdown, isn't it? Absolutely crap. You spend time trying to pretend that it's okay, and really, it's shit. So it's like holiday in England. So many people at the moment are like, you know, oh, you know, holiday in the UK. It's an untapped resource. I don't know why we don't do it more, because it's shit. It is shit. Holidaying in the UK is crap. It's better than holidaying at home, I'll agree with that, you know, but at the end of the day, it's just like having a shower at someone else's house, which I quite like. I'm a connoisseur of showers. I love showers. If you ever saw me on the podcast that I did with Jack, mate, the shower for me is a really important thing. I'll come back to UK holidays in a minute, but you know how my mind works. Yeah, shower in the morning is my moment. It's my time where I basically talk to myself in my head, most of the time in a mood. But it's like a busman's holiday when you go and stay at someone's house, and sometimes it's relatives, sometimes it's friends, and sometimes it's hotels. But I feel like I should have a little book on showers. You know, April the 12th, 1998, stayed at my mate's house. Shower 7 on 10. Temperature very good. Power not great. But I love it. There's a Hotel de Van. I'll give it a shout out in Birmingham. They've got a hotel room there. Oh my god, the shower is like take your skin off, which is not what I want, but it's so powerful. It's so invigorating when you've got a hangover. Powerful, big spray as well. But then they've got this secondary shower that is sort of slanted, and you basically put your back to it, and it gives you this constant sort of back spray as well. Oh, probably the most elite shower I've ever had. But I do get pissed off when I go to people's houses and their shower's more powerful than mine. I mean, it's basically water pressure. I had the guy down to the British Gas, and I was like, how do I get my shower powerful? And he was like, really, it's just about water pressure. There's things you can do, but it's very expensive. It's luck of the draw. So lucky if you've got that. This is all right round here, country-esque. But I wouldn't come on holiday here. Yeah, back to that, UK holidays. It's like the international break. A lot of people at the moment are saying because, you know, we might not be able to go on holiday abroad. Well, you know, hopefully it'll do wonders for the UK vacation industry, holiday industry. Because, you know, it's an untapped resource. There's so many nice places to go. There's not. It's overpriced. The weather is unpredictable as Arsenal, and realistically, it's not that good. It's not that good. You're telling me that a Mediterranean beach with lovely beach bars and nice clear sea is as good as Cornwall, where, you know, it really is luck of the draw. You can't book a week in Cornwall in August and go, well, at least we'll get good weather. It could literally be freezing cold and raining every single day. You know, that's a big factor. You know, that's what European and global holidays have in their favour. You can pretty much predict the weather is going to be good. And also, the plane journey's far better. I mean, who gets a plane to Cornwall? But going down the M6... nah, I'm not up for that. And also, they're massively overpriced this year. You're basically spending £1,000 for a weekend in a crap caravan in Wales. And it doesn't have to be Wales. You know, there's crap places in England as well. Yeah. Where are we? God. I'm not going to Warwick. I tell you what, I'll tell you what I've just realised. I'm going to have to do a really embarrassing thing in a minute, because I don't know where I am. I really don't know where I am, and I'm probably going to have to put it into my phone, which is embarrassing. Which is something from the past. Yes, it's something from the past. That was something from the past that's different now. Didn't have mobile phones, didn't have the opportunity to just put it in your phone as to where you were, easily could get lost. Oh yes, I know where I am now. Lovely stuff. Yes, that's the sign we wanted. So it's lunchtime at the moment. I'm going to go home and have some dinner, and I've found some nice dinners that I've really got into at the moment. What am I talking to you about dinners for? Cooking with Goldbridge, I suppose. But I'm not going to make mackerel on toast, which I never thought I would like. I've always liked this church on the left, which you won't see. That is the road to Leamington Spa. I'm coming back from here. Might just have beans on toast. What is your vice for food that's weird? Here's one for you. Got into it about 2 years ago. Sort of had to quit it. beans on toast with a packet of crisps on top. I really like it. Or if you don't like that, nuts. Sprinkle some nuts on top. Lovely. I'm starving. Oh, I'm starving. And now I've just gone past another pub that does nice food as well. Not at the moment. Not at the moment. You're closed. Once upon a time. That's not a song. It's a lovely day though. It's a year since lockdown. A year since lockdown started. God, I'm depressed again. That makes me feel depressed. Oh God. Wasn't that a horrible time? It really was. People went into that lockdown and it was really circumstantial. I mean, look, if you got COVID and, you know, God, what a way. What a horrible thing. But to move on, just saw a dead badger. Always stays with me for a second or two when I see a dead animal. I think, what were you doing? Where were you going? Who have you left behind? Sad. Anyway, what I'm going to have for dinner, I might have some ham on my sandwich, and I quite like ham and beef slices in a sandwich. Yeah, but yeah, lockdown. Oh God, there was people like I spoke to after it, and they were like, it was great. I got furlough. I just spent the time clearing out my garage, did some decorating, got on top of a load of jobs I never would have done. And then I'm like, oh, I'm so pleased for you. You got paid to sit on your, well, not sit on your arse. You got paid to do stuff I never get time to do. But then you've got the people who like, oh, I wrote a book, or I took up something. I'm like, oh my God, you smug twat. So for some it was good, for some it wasn't. That's basically it. Right, that does not help me. This roundabout does not help me. Give me a sign. That one. That'll do. Asked for a sign and there literally was one with where I need to go. Knowle's a nice place. Solihull, South Solihull, I think it is. I wouldn't mind living there. I'm so tired. I'm not too tired to drive, by the way. God, I'm not one of them signs. I mean, I'm just like mentally tired. I wouldn't go to sleep. I could never go to sleep in the day. And I'd never go to sleep at the wheel. I don't think anybody does though, do they? I don't think anybody does it on purpose. I don't think somebody thinks, you know what, I'm really tired. I'm doing 60 miles an hour on a motorway and I'm just gonna have half an hour. I mean, with the best will in the world, there's a lot of Roman built roads in the UK which are straight. But it's going to be miraculous if you catch 40 winks for half an hour and wake up and still in the same lane. You're going to cause a crash. Cat's eyes removed. Oh, disgusting. There was a sign there that said cat's eyes removed. Now I know what it means, but even though I know what it means, there are certain signs in life that are not useful. Like signs for Knoll when you're lost. That's very useful. Signs that say cat's eyes removed. What they mean is, in the middle of the road, because we're in the country, cat's eyes are very popular. And what they are is, if you don't know what cat's eyes are in a road sense, they are these things that light up. They're basically reflectors in the middle of the road. So that when you're driving at night, your lights hit them and it lights up the middle of the road. But imagine if you were the guy who invented cat's eyes. Not on real cats, we'll come back to them. But, you know, you invented these. It'd be great if you got paid 10 pence every time. No, that wouldn't work. It's not like royalties for a song, is it? But I bet he's a billionaire. Imagine if he's not. Imagine if he sold it for like a tenner and now it's just universally used. But anyway, when you see a sign that says cat's eyes removed, even though I know it's talking about the cat's eyes that light up in the middle of the road, which aren't real cat's eyes, I actually think about a cat having its eyes removed. Yeah, which is just not very nice. Might have a boiled egg for dinner. I do like a good boiled egg actually. 5 minutes. 5 minute abs. 5 minute abs. 5 minute abs. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm on about. No, not minute abs. 2 little diggy birds sitting in a tree. Yeah. I do like a boiled egg though, with soldiers, which is toast cut into things, strips. But 5 minutes if you want a runny yolk in the middle. Lovely. Boiled water, 5 minutes. It will do. It'll be absolutely fine. It absolutely will. Chadwick End. I sort of know this place. I sort of know it. Probably gone on long enough. There's probably enough content here for a few people to watch it. But it's been good for me. That's the main thing. Sometimes you can make it on your own. But no, sometimes, you know, I've got to be honest, I've always said this, these things are very good for me. They're therapeutical. They're my therapy, which fits in with therapeutical. The Orange Tree, another good pub. I'm being mocked by pubs today, which is going to happen if you drive out into the sticks. But the Orange Tree is another nice pub. I'll be there again. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. It doesn't even need to be sunny. I don't care if it's raining if I'm in a pub. So, in fact, better. All the better. Look, you can't beat being in a pub when it's crap weather outside. Cosy. Oh, see, my mood's going back up now again. My mood's back. Stuck behind a bloody tractor now. I grew up in a rural area. I'm not a big fan of it. It would be absolutely fine if they didn't have tractors and farmers in the country. But then again, I suppose it would make it futile. Because what would you use the countryside for if you didn't have farmers and fields? What people don't realise about the countryside is it's basically just a big factory. You know, they think, oh, breathe in that lovely air. But, you know, do you say that when you're walking around an industrial estate? No, you go, this is ugly. The field is just a field is just a factory, really. You know, potatoes, corn, wheat, Shreddies. Shreddies are probably made from something I've just mentioned there, but you know, I don't want to get into that debate about what's wheat and what's not wheat. Shredded wheat, Weetabix, cornflakes are corn, Rice Krispies are, I think, rice. But they don't make, are Rice Krispies rice? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me because they're very, you know, rice is quite tough. Put that in the live comments, someone, even though we're not live. As soon as I can get off this road, I'm getting off it. I hate being stuck behind a tractor. I'm a very impatient person. I don't know whether anyone's ever picked up on that I'm a very impatient person. But I'm definitely not going to overtake something when I'm filming driving with Goldbridge, because I don't want to put out bad habits. To be honest with you, I can't even see. It's too big. It's massive. I can see under the tractor more than I can see over the tractor. I can't see anything. I'd love to overtake it, but it's just too dangerous. And I'm not going to do it. Oh, he's indicating now. Good. Slowest indicator in the world. It's like being stuck behind Harry Maguire. Oh my God! He's just bloody mocked me. I don't believe it. He indicated and then he didn't go. Taking the piss. It's been mocked by a tractor. Oh. How can you indicate and not... He knows these roads like the back of his hands. He's a farmer. He's just done that for a laugh. There's no other right turn for ages. Literally been stuck behind him for as long as I've been stuck behind him, doing 20 miles an hour. Approaches the road on the right, indicates as if he's going to go, slows down, and then carries on. He can only be mocking us. There's another right turn here, he's not going to take it. There's a massive queue behind me. It's like FIFA, this. It says Bateman on the mudguards. Pratt man, more like. I can't see. I can't overtake. Someone else wants to do it, go for it. I can't see to get past. They're getting moody behind me though. Oh, for God's sake. What? I'll never know. I'll never know what he was doing there. Oh, he's putting his brakes on now. He's going to go right now, is he? Yeah, he's indicating again. Is he gonna banter us again? He's going down watery lane. I tell you, he'll be going to a watery grave if he doesn't. No, he's gone. I think he's just a thick farmer. He didn't actually know where he was going. Well, that was a bit of interest. There we go. And another good pub, King's Arms. I know where I am now. King's Arms, lovely pub that is as well. I'll tell you what, King's Arms, I'd run into them at the moment. I'd run into those arms and embrace a lovely steak and kidney pie with mash and seasonal vegetable and a nice pint of Guinness. I'd hug you for that, King's Arms. Anyway, we'll carry on. You never know what's going to happen. If this is the end of the video, this is the end of the video. Please smash a like on the video and subscribe. If not, I'll edit it out and carry on. Tell you what I've noticed a lot of in this lockdown we've had in the UK. 100% I've noticed this a lot. There's been an increase in runners and there's been an increase in dogs. Everybody's got a dog now, and I saw this in the news at the weekend. It was on the BBC, so it must be true, that there's been a massive increase in people buying dogs. In fact, the dog population has gone up by about, I'm going to make this up, but it's gone up by a percentage. Not one, like it's gone up quite a lot. But what happens when everyone goes back to life? It's like when lockdown's over, you're alive again. You're not dead. Some people are dead, obviously. Some people will have died over lockdown. And I'm not talking about COVID. That obviously we know about that and it's very sad, but people will have died of other causes like heart attacks, old age, being left in the pool with the crocodile. But what will happen to all these dogs and all these runners when lockdown is over? They won't carry on. The dog is an accessory for lockdown at the end of the day. Oh, I need to get some exercise because I've been stuck in the house all day. What can I get to go on a walk with? I know, I'll get a dog. Are you going to continue going on walks when lockdown's over? Are you bollocks? We're all going to have so much more time. We're all used to using our time within lockdown, within restriction. Can't go to the pub, can't go to the shops, can't get your hair cut, can't see your friends, can't go on holiday. All this time you're going to have to get back into your schedule. What's going to happen to the dog? Oh, I'll tell you what, that smart car is anything but smart. Nearly caused a crash then. I do like driving, but there are irritants to it as well. Not everybody's as good a driver as me, and that's a problem. You know? I think I'm just going to go home and have... I was just thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner. My mind wanders very quick. I don't know about you, but my mind is really quick. Oh my God. Don't know what that was. Don't know whether it was male or female. I'm not being horrible. You know, it's my choice what I marry. We've all got tastes, you know. Unfortunately, looks are important, but I genuinely didn't know what that was. And I'm not talking male or female. It was a human. I could not give you its age, gender, anything. People get very sensitive about things like that, but you are allowed to have an opinion on looks. Just don't let them know. And they'll never know because you didn't see it and they won't watch this stream. They're not going to put two and two together. Not looking like that. Anyway, I've told you that story before. Looks aren't necessarily important. No one wants to look at an oil painting that's got no personality. Supermodels stereotypically look very good if you go in for that sort of thing. For me, they're too skinny. But, you know, you can be all looks and no cover. No, that's wrong. That's a different saying. That's don't judge a book by its cover. You could be all cover and no content. Yes, that's a good, that probably is a saying, but it's a good one. Basically, you want a mixture of the two. You want a good cover with a good story inside. You don't want a great cover with absolutely nothing inside, because you might think, oh, look at me, I've done really well, but that's not going to keep you warm when you're discussing Mindhunter over a lasagna. Mindhunter would be very apt because they're thick. So yeah, you can't just go for looks. On the other hand, you know, chatting about Manchester United's back six and how they should improve it would be great, but if there's no attraction there, you know, I don't want to marry Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, as good as conversation we could have, there's no attraction there. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Another driving with Goldbridge, quite enjoyed that, and thank you everybody for the therapy that you haven't even given yet, because it's not live, but it's I went into this in a bad stroke angry mood, and I've come out of it in a relaxed mood. I'm gonna go home and have a boiled egg. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video and subscribe if you are new.